This can't be right. It would be very embarrassing. Did you ever consider...
Pretty sure it's right. Hey, look, can we do this at Sean's office from now on? Because I gotta knock off work to come here, and the commute is killing me.
Yeah, sure. But did you think of the possibility...
That's right. Just take it home with you.
What happened at the McNeil meeting?
I couldn't go. I had a date, so I sent my chief negotiator.
On your own time, you can do whatever you like, Will. But when I set up a meeting with my associates, and you don't show up, it reflects poorly on me.
Well, then don't set up any more meetings.
Well, I won't. I'll cancel them. I'll give you a job myself. I just wanted you to see what was out there.
Hey, look, maybe I don't want to spend the rest of my fucking life sitting around explaining shit to people.
I think you could show me some appreciation.
A little appreciation? Do you know how easy this is for me? Do you have any fucking idea how easy this is? This is a fucking joke. And I'm sorry you can't do this. I really am, because I wouldn't have to fucking sit here and watch you fumble around and fuck it up.
Hey guys, how you doing today? Did you get your EINs? Getting yourself established, taking your rightful position. I wanted to make a video and just remind you that they're always going to have distractions Monday, which is great. Guy, I hope you get your wish. I really do. Maybe you should get a booster before you get on the ship. Anyway, so I wanted to just let you know what's going to happen next. The more people that really start discharging their debt and taking their rightful position as admiral of their estate in this shipping war that we were born into, maritime admiralty, we're the admirals. This is why they're going to roll out the universal basic income. Because if you understand the Bible, it's all about the Messiah warning us about socialism. See, people think capitalism is good in the situation we have now, which we don't have capitalism. It's way too controlled for anybody to actually, really make it without cheating or lying or stealing. And a good example of that is YouTube. You can't just be yourself, and it's all controlled. They control what we say. They control if people see our videos. They determine what are put in the queue, all that. So it's not a level playing field. Just like if you're ever called to go into court, it's not a level playing field. I've talked about that in the past. But the parable of the man that had the field, that story in the Bible, which most of us are familiar with. And again, over 3 years, listening to people that try to teach the Bible more than I ever had in my life, reading the Bible more than I ever had in my life. That story always kind of bothered me, because I was thinking, yeah, it's not fair. This guy, he's the owner, so he can determine who gets paid what, right? He goes out, he hires workers. Some of them start at the first thing, crack of dawn, right? Work all day. I'm just surmising. And then he still hires people throughout the day. Like some people work 8 hours, some people work 1 hour, and yet he pays them all the same. What was that story trying to tell us? And the guy's angry. He's like, hey, I worked here all day. He goes, it's my field. I can do what I want. See, that's how socialism works. And that's how the universal basic income works. So, and that's why they replaced equality with equity. It was a shift in this word that was always used before. Again, I mean, it's just amazing to me. When you understand admiralty maritime law, you understand racism, because the Satan teaches people to look at skin color. That's why those of us that were born with the spirit, we never had a racist bone in our body. We don't even understand it, because the Spirit of God can hide in any type of vessel. let's just say they were trying to only get the chosen, if there is such a thing. And they're all, and what they've taught them, they're all one color. See, Moses brought the Israelites out of Egypt. And the first thing they wanted to do is go right back into slavery. That's why they worship a golden calf. Nobody thinks it's ironic that that's like Merrill Lynch's logo, right? The golden calf out at Wall Street. So that story, him paying the same amount of money no matter how hard somebody works, is socialism. And this, what socialism does, it breeds mediocrity, because there's no incentive to strive. There's no incentive to go higher, to reach higher, to be a better artist, to be a better mathematician, to be a better anything. Why? And we've seen this come in a variety of different ways. This thing they call equity. And that's why most people will take it. I didn't really share that in my last video. I want to just make sure you understand the 80-20 rule will always apply because of these religions. And you've got people, even if they're doing a small cult, and they know this is true about taking your control of your estate back. It's there. You're letting Satan manage it. Why would they tell their followers that if this is the biggest thing that ever happened to them? In 2020, what happened for them is they got a bunch of people. Again, you don't really know how many of them are people because they control what looks popular, because sheep like to go where the other sheep go. And they don't want to tell their people this. What if they knew they were all kings? What if they knew they were all kings and priests? They tell them stuff like that, but they say you're going to be a king or priest when you're dead. That's why you just got to hunker down. You got to just, wrap up your, oh, forget it. I forget that saying. But it's just like, gird your loins. Yeah, gird your loins. They've girded the loins a long time ago. So I really see in the spirit that the universal basic income that we've been talking about for 3 years is going to be rolled out right on the heels of a tipping scale, if you will, of people really understanding this. I looked at his video. I think it's only been up a week. It's had 11,000 views, and it's one video on a channel, the first one. So I think there's a lot of people like myself that have referred people to it. So it's awesome to see that. Maybe it'll go viral, who knows. But just know that there's always going to be the majority that are going to just sit back and do nothing. This is why you don't get honored in the system for being lazy. And this is why the guy that works 1 hour gets paid the same as the guy that works 8 hours. And that's what that story, that parable is for. How do these churches teach it? They teach it to you that it was the Messiah talking to you about socialism and that he owns the field. What is the field? Like, I worked in sales my whole life, and we'd always say, I'm going to be out in the field today. The field is the world. The field is all the people that you're working with, all the people everywhere. And that's what it's talking about. It's not actually talking about going out there and picking weeds or picking corn or something. These are metaphors. These are parables. And universal basic income, most people will take $3,000, say they even give us $4,000 a month, and you don't have to lift a finger. Most people will take that, the majority. And we already live in socialism. It really does, it's invisible to most people, especially the last 2 generations. Most of them have never touched paper money. They already work on credits and debits. And, you know, everything else reinforces everything else. Like, you shouldn't have to have car insurance, certainly if you don't have a driver's license, because you're not driving for business. The license, the reason you get a license, it's all volunteer. All. Just because everybody does it doesn't mean it's right. This is why the blind lead the blind. So you have a driver's license, you want to be an Uber driver, they demand that you have insurance. Some of these are even worse. Like Lyft, you have to give them your VIN number and all kinds of stuff. So they reinforce the whole socialistic program. You want to be an Uber driver. That's why they bring all these people over the border that have no clue about being an American. What kind of American are you? They don't care. They'll do anything for a shekel. Yeah, so most people are going to go along with the universal basic income. And that doesn't mean we can't still do what we're doing, because there's always going to be a monetary system here. And then if they're jealous of you because you have 15 Ferraris, you can just tell them, I'll show you how to get 15 if you want. But you got to come out of slavery. And most people won't. I want to make a point of saying that, because I don't want you to think that I'm just out here going, oh my God, everybody's waking up. No, it's still the same. But for us, it's different, because we can live among them, but we can separate ourselves when you have enough money. You can go get a bunch of acreage. You could get whatever you need to get away from them. That's the point of all this, because they're not going to change. They're locusts. And look at all, okay, this is the other thing too. The cross is so freaking evil. And they don't understand nothing. They think when it was introduced, it's a good thing. It was back in the 1800s or so when they really started pushing this cross around, you know, that Christ was crucified on. This is the crucifixion of the straw man. What it means for them, when you have the Messiah, which represents me and you, nailed, 3 nails, 1 in the feet, 1 in each hand, crown of thorns that they shoved painfully onto his head, and then he's humiliated, right? And it also shows them nailing the 2 keys of the kingdom to the wall. You to the 2 keys, like they've removed the keys of the kingdom from you. You need 2 keys. And when you take a key and lay one on top of the other, and then you open it up, old-time keys, they were like an L shape, right? So you lay, and they'd even went extended a little further past the L. So it's like this and then this. So you lay both of those keys on top of one another, and when you fold them open, that creates a cross. So what Christ on the cross nailed to it with a crown of thorns means is they have taken you into slavery. And so when people go into these churches, unbeknownst to them, they are literally bowing down to Satan, and Satan has it right here. This is what we've done to you, and you're so freaking stupid. You don't even see it. I had this cross in my house and I was like, oh my God, I gotta throw that in the trash. I did. I forgot it was in a very obscure place that I never really go into. I was thinking, God, that's probably giving me really bad juju or something. So anybody that wears a cross, I even did at certain points in my life. All we're doing is we're saying I'm a slave, and I like it. This is the Great Awakening. This is what some people will get, most won't. I just want to make a point of saying that. But it's so encouraging when you see people starting to get it. Again, you're not doing anything wrong. You know, it concerns me. People I really like and really I learn a great deal from, they'll put a video up and take it down the next day. And I don't know if they're removing it because they're afraid, or they think they did something wrong, and yet they let all these people see it and probably copy it, these forms, or perhaps Google took it down. I mean, it's just no way to know, unless they put a follow-up video or something. It doesn't matter. It's, you have to understand, this is what the Messiah was here to show us. What it takes to stand up to these demons. They want to show you, when you look at that cross, put yourself on that cross. And it's basically saying that they have captured you, they put you in bondage. And what did he come for? He came to set the captives free. What do you think that's talking about? And then they have us thinking that John baptized people so that they could go to heaven. You know, no. John baptized people so that they could be christened. This system's been in place forever. And that's why Jesus got baptized. Because when you're sitting there going, why would the Messiah get baptized? He's the Messiah, right? Messiah represents you and me. He needed to have his ship christened too in this beast system by all the witnesses. Yeah, so universal basic income is very, very close at hand. And most of them will take that instead of standing up to the beast and assuming their rightful position as admiral of their ship. They like being slaves. There's something about it. A lot of them are bred to be slaves. They don't even know they're a slave. They don't hear information like this. This girl I was talking to, this woman, I said, do you know the other platforms that we know about? I never heard of them. And that's always been what I've heard. The same people over and over go to these alternative platforms. And the Rumble is just, they're both corralling places. And that's why there's no truth on it. I don't watch anybody on BitChute. Because all they do is glamorize and point attention to these lizards that have put us in bondage. Why? There's more people I'm finding now on YouTube, even 9 years ago, they were talking about this stuff. And fuck. Yeah, there's more people, but they don't show their face. But they're showing, you know, documents and things like that. But when I'm watching videos, I want to see somebody. I want to see who they are. I don't understand that. Again, that's all Patrick's videos are like that too. They're all podcast style. But they're older, you know. And on his, it's good because he's showing these forms, all these forms he created. Because he was coming up against the man. Coming up against the beast. Yeah, so that was the Messiah teaching in parables about socialism. Why are you upset? This is what you get. Unless you're doing what I'm doing. Killing the straw man. That's what his life is demonstrative of. That's why they tell the story in an airy-fairy way, so these people think that they're going to die and get, you know, superhuman strength and they're come back. And see, when he was showing the marks in his hands and feet, after he'd been transfigured after 3 days, everything's 3, because it takes 3 days to rescind a contract. Anytime within the 3-day period, you can go back and take the contract back and cancel it out. So 72 hours, 789, which is the number of completion. I've heard some of these CIA operatives, again, it's almost like the father just goes, go look at this one, when I don't ever look at them. Because all they do is get on here and whine, and they're a victim, and they're trying to get people in the streets. They're all part of the war, the civilian war, that they're trying to get people pissed about, between different colors of skin and all kinds of stuff. 9 means the number of completion. 9. I did a whole breakdown on Revelation 21 on my other channel. Doesn't mean destruction. 10 is destruction. 10 is annihilation. It's amazing, but when you got followers, these people think they can say anything, but they get their script from the CIA. And it's so easy to see for me, because when they're victims, that is the exact kind of person that will do, somebody's doing, these whatever you call them, operations, whatever. I mean, we've seen the rooms filled with people that the you know, the different military operations do. They pretend to be certain people online. They track, they trace, they troll. I mean, that's what our military does. It's unreal. So if you take a guy that's racist and got a real religious slant, you know, one of these cult leaders, right? And you say, okay, here's your agenda. You're going to go on and you're going to teach what that man did to us, this color of people, right? And there's no shortage of victims. So they need leaders for these people. That's why I told you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what OB's doing. It doesn't matter what any of them do. There's always a market for it. The 80-20 rule. So anybody that teaches you to bow down to this cross is actually telling you to stay a slave. It's just that simple. And I'm sorry if you don't understand it. Don't watch my channel. If you're one of these Nazi Christians, NOTSEC, don't come here. Not to my channel, okay? You're never going to change what I think, what I do. I've been like this my whole life. This is why I'm successful. This is why I'm not intimidated, okay? This is why I can carry a message like this. The reason I've been hopeless is because of all you fucks out there that lie. And see, that person that has the following on YouTube and you think he's doing this for nothing, he's getting a check. There's no doubt in my mind. And then every single person that feels like they've been slighted or taken advantage of, I mean, they're right there. That's how it is. It's the same thing over and over and over. The only thing that changes is the, you know, the clothes and the hairstyles. Same stuff. That's why God regretted making man. Continually evil, always. There's only a remnant. 144. Those are the people that are completed. 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9. 9 is the number of completion, not destruction. You're an idiot. That's what I mean. Like, I never watch people and then I'll just check in to see if they're still being a victim and still steering people the wrong way. And 10 seconds into it, they're saying that 9 is the number of destruction. You're a moron. You're an idiot. Even good tarot readers that have a real spiritual gift, they know that. But you can tell these idiots anything. 10 is the number of destruction, annihilation. 9 is the number of completion. 3, 6, and 9 are the most important numbers in the Bible. 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 3 is 18. 3, 6, and 9 are the most important, and then that reduces to 9 as well. 9 is not destruction, you idiot. You idiot. Well, you're an idiot because you work for them. You're already on universal basic income. You get a monthly check from the man to lead people astray. And it goes on the internet all day long. It's really sad. Why don't you teach them that they're the admiral? Why don't you teach them about maritime law? No, because you're somebody that's been a nobody your whole life, and now you got this following, and that aphrodisiac is so intoxicating, right? You don't want them to know that they're kings and priests, right? Even though it says that in your Bible. Oh, you'll be a king when you die. I'm king. I'm king now. I'm everybody. I know what's going on. I can read the Bible. You can't. One woman will take the week to hold 7 men. They can't wait. They want to hit the streets, you know, with machetes and all kinds of shit. These religious zealots. Unbelievable. And all they'd have to do after watching my video is go watch the one that I have a link to in the last one and get their 3 EINs and take control of their estate. And if they want, they could be driving a Ferrari like in a couple of weeks. They don't want to do that. They're waiting for a UFO and they want to kick some ass. They want to get the white man for what he's done to us. You women, they all hate women too. All these religious freaks that are all pushing the Messiah. This I said a long time ago. They say the Bible, which they can't understand at all, is the end-all be-all. But the one thing it didn't get right is Jesus' name. It's unreal. Yeah, they call him all kinds of stuff. The Messiah represents you and me. And we are only supposed to do what the Father says, if you have the Father indwelling. And you would have to be a Trinity, like in the Matrix. And then, you're the one. Neo, same letters, one. So, anyway, there's all kinds of clues. Yesterday, I couldn't believe this when I was driving around. I had a bunch of things to do, going here, going there. And I'm not kidding you, in 45 minutes, I just probably drove about 10 miles. People were just stopping. Like, at a light that's green, and it was like they'd stop right at the place where you veer over to get in the left turn signal lane, and they just stop right there, as if they didn't know if they should keep going because the light's green or go left. And they just want to check, they want to look at their phone. I'm talking to be on a 4-lane road that goes 55 miles an hour, and they just stop. And this wasn't once, this was 3 times. And then I'd go into these different various places to park, and they had pulled out like 3/4 way to back out, and then just stop. Like they're glitching, ding, 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 ding. And so when I really saw it yesterday, these people that are connected to the grid, or whatever they are, people, these persons. Yeah, I should use that word, person, because person are not people. Person is an entity. That's why it's important to know what these words mean. Anyway, so it was just unbelievable. And it just kept happening. And I'd look at these people, and 2 out of 3 of them were driving alone in the car with a muzzle on their face. And I see a lot of muzzles now. So I don't know, is the TV telling them to wear them again? I mean, probably is. Yeah, so universal basic income is going to be happening anytime now. Most of them are going to go with it. So I just don't want to get your hopes up. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm only hopeful because now I see a way to get away from them. That's all. Because it's not going to change. They're going to try to kill us. They kill us by silencing us on the social media, because social media is the town square, and we're not allowed to talk. Yeah, but that cross is really something else when they have the Messiah. Until we come out of slavery, that's us. Just put yourself on the cross. Put the crown of thorns on your head before you woke up. That's you, nailed to the cross. They have both of your keys to the kingdom. They have you and the Holy Spirit nailed to the cross. You need 2 keys to get into the kingdom. And this is the knowledge that is given to you by the Holy Spirit. That's why when the Messiah asked Peter, "Who do they say I am?" And he knew. And he said, "Yeah, you're blessed, Peter, because nobody told you this. It was told to you by the Father." You see? So easy to understand the Bible when you really understand it's all about this Roman Empire. It's all about money. Money's the mark of the beast. 9 is the number of completion. And when you get knowledgeable and quit watching all these liars on the internet, you shouldn't pay any attention to people's color, because when you do that, you're fully invested in the satanic realm. You bought into it. Again, that's why a lot of Hebrew Israelites are so naive. Again, all of us are. But the Hebrew Israelites, there's something about them. They're God's favorite people, and I believe they're all different colors. But they have to have a man over them, not God. Even though they think they're following God, they're not. They're actually following Satan. Because until you come out of slavery, remove the crown of thorns from your head, the control of the mind, the government, the govern the mind, you're a slave. And this is why the experiment they did here in the Americas, the United States of America, that's what they did the experiment about. And we're already under, the New World Order, and most people are clueless. They can't see it. So anyway, like, you can't even be an Uber driver unless you comply. Like, they're always asking you for your insurance, your updated, insurance through this beast system, which is totally illegal. That's what, it's another hedge. Like, if you cash that bond in and liquidate it and have it deposited into your trust, now you have all this money in your personal estate bank, You cash out the driver's licenses are worth $11,200,000. I'm not sure what marriage licenses are, but anytime you get a license with the Roman Empire, they attach a bond to your estate. And that's why, legally, if you don't have a driver's license, you haven't contracted, there's no law that you have to have a driver's license. It all has to be voluntary, all of it. And then that's why I applaud these kids that stand up to it. There's no law that you have to have a driver's license. But you listen to some of these cops and they're like, this is what we do here. This is how it works. No, it isn't. See, if we had enough people that stand up and we're cowards, that's why you really see how many cowards there are in America. And then anybody that actually has a clue, that really understands how evil it is, they're just looking to have their fat asses raptured or picked up in a UFO. So they're not going to take control of their ship. They're not going to take their rightful place as the king or priest and the admiral. They just like to talk a good game because they're cowards at their heart. All right? I think that's it. All I wanted to talk about. Yeah, the cross, 2 keys. When you really get that, it'll make you sick to your stomach of how we've been played. And it goes on over and over and over at every reset. And there's only a remnant that sees it. And most people that think they're chosen or a remnant are not. They're slaves. All right, you guys, have a good day, and I'll see you soon. One more thing. 911 on the clock. 9111 is unless you take control of your estate and you claim your life back, they consider you dead at sea. You're dead cargo. So you're just adrift. Again, that's like the whole series with Gilligan's Island. And then it's all about the SS Minnow, which is our SS account. That's how they actually are showing, and they're all stupid, right? Because that's how they depict people, just dumb. Even the professor, right? He's even an idiot. They're all just goofy and dumb. It's such a slap in the face. And that's why it's funny when you sit and think about these things we grew up with and you're like, do the actors understand what they're portraying? Probably not, because most actors are really stupid. Do the producers even know what they're doing? Probably not. It's all to make fun of the people that are enslaved here. And that's why they have, The Simpsons, which is indicative of most Americans that are slaves. And they're just go to their job and drink beer and, not very bright. And they love it. And they're the most watched shows, right? So Gilligan's Island is a metaphor for how we are until we wake up. We're beached, we're lost at sea. And when we wake up and we take our rightful position, we are the angel that has the book of life and has one foot on the land, 1 foot on the sea. And then that's how we live going forward. We're no longer dead cargo. We're no longer nailed to the cross with a crown of thorns. They don't control our mind. We're not enslaved. We live in the private sector now. We don't, it should piss you off if somebody goes to a field and works 8 hours and then some guy shows up at 4 and works to 5, but he gets paid the same. And then the owner of the field says, too bad, my field, I make the rules. Doesn't mean it's right. How many people really get that story? Start reading all these stories about the Messiah and you will see it's all about banking. And then why would the Messiah, and then even people that think they actually took, an animal into the beautiful temple and bled it out. It's just ludicrous. But they believe they're going to get raptured, you know? It's no wonder that we're in the condition we are. It really isn't.
I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays. I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays. I ain't gang banging, I'm a gang member. Love for my blood and the rest get the middle finger. You can get the trigger finger. Funny acting pussy nigga fraud. You ain't hard, play the part, you can get a nigga. Old head, long bread, chillin' and I'm sitting back. Feet up, living good, really, and I'm kicking back. Orchestrate to getting back. Button pushing, pitching pack. Stuffing up the duffel with the hustle, nigga, give me that. Nah, really, give me that. Greed time, getting fat. Multiply the paperback. Gorilla, I'm a silverback. My mama cut the Similac with hot sauce and bacon fat. Really don't know how to act. Started, I'm a finished nigga, remember that. I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up, talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays. I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up, talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays.
I be out a lot, probably on the block. Be running from the cops, running in the knots. I put it in the pot, then I put the wop. Foam and let it lock, then I lock the spot. Like, welcome to my neighborhood. Got cookies in the flavor good. Put gelato in my backwood. Keep a banger when it's that good. Watch your anger if you that hood. Yeah. My brody on the roof with a 16. Chopper in the bushes with a red beam. You done ran off with the wrong dope. Mini 14 got a long throw.
I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up, talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays. I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up, talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays.
Started off with a pinch, hopping over the fence. Garbage cans and dog shit, albino pits. You'll up in my fist, toaster up on my hip. Bringing home the bacon and the cheese and grits. Sometime my paper saggy, sometime my yaper crisp. Taking a stab at this rapping, selling dope a hit and miss. Grew up on the tar, pluck you like guitar. I be high as fuck, trying to touch the stars. Frank Mueller on my right, Rolex on my left. I don't like to fight, I just like sex. Hustler all my life, Popo like to raid. I've been getting paid since the 10th grade.
I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up, talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays. I've been selling dope since the 10th grade. Nothing but critters over this way. Walking up, talking that shit. Hey, me and my niggas like bitch plays.